Hi, I'm Cecil Maranville, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. In today's podcast, let's talk about God's blessings. At times, the ancient nation of Israel, God's chosen people, enjoyed fantastic blessings at His hand. At other times, Israel suffered, collectively and individually. The people endured severe diseases, military conquest, and economic woes. Why didn't God's blessings always shield them from negative things? Why didn't He protect them from all grief? Today's verses will help us understand. They're found in Deuteronomy chapter 28. We'll read verse 1 first. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all His commandments which I command you today, that the Lord your God will set you on high above all nations of the earth. Then follows a long list of wonderful benefits. But did you notice the if? If you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God. That begs the question, what if they did not obey the voice of the Lord? Verse 15 of the same chapter answers that question. But it shall come to pass, if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all His commandments and His statutes which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. And following this verse is a long list of terribly unpleasant curses that the Israelites might experience. Are you thinking that this sounds like conditional love, not the unconditional love you associate with God? In fact, God's love always has been, and still is, unconditional. But His blessings are conditional. Understanding the difference is crucial to understanding why God dealt with Israel over the centuries as He did. God's love is unconditional. God's blessings are conditional. There is another key detail I should explain. Israel had made a covenant with God, and He with them. That is, they entered into a formal contract with God in which they promised to live by His laws, which are summarized in the Ten Commandments. For His part, God promised to give Israel unique benefits beyond those that any other nation on earth enjoyed. That covenant is central to understanding all of Israel's history. That includes understanding what is happening and what will happen in modern Israel. And when I say modern Israel, I don't mean just the nation-state of Israel, whose citizens are mainly Jews or descendants of Judah. Judah was only one of the tribes that descended from the patriarch for whom the original nation of Israel was named. There were 11 other tribes. There are many other Israelites scattered around the world. Modern Israel continues to enjoy the benefits that God promised to ancient Israel. But those blessings can and will be lost if people choose to live as the ancient Israelites did, if they do not obey the voice of the Lord their God. Read our booklet, The United States, Britain, and the Commonwealth in Prophecy, for the full picture of both history and prophecy. See the show notes for a link. One last thought. We should think about how this insight into God's blessings, or the lack thereof, applies even to Christians. God is the same today, yesterday, and forever. That is, His nature, His thinking, His expectations, the way He deals with His people, is consistent through the ages. If we diligently obey the voice of the Lord our God, He will set us on high. If we do not obey the voice of the Lord our God, well, there will be consequences.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.